Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Not in My Lifetime podcast for episode 31. We're finally through another international break, and thank God for that. It's been another boring cesspit of international football where England tried no strikers against Greece and beat a Finland team that we should have beaten anyway 3-1. So we're not talking about England because that's irrelevant to us anyway. And we'll actually discuss a proper football team. Well, a football team now, but back in 2008-09 when we actually first obviously started out. Obviously not 1894, that's bullshit. It actually was 2008 is when this club was formed, according to Twitter. So we'll actually get properly into this. But before we start, reminiscing about good old times back in how many years ago it was now. How are you two both doing on this fine evening?
Good, mate. All right, you?
Yeah, good.
Always good, mate. Always good to discuss this club, especially 2008 when this club was changing from a mid-table mediocrity team towards relegation to a decent European team. Anything, not a good overall team. Just
right. When we get cracking, we'll obviously do this in order, right? You say about a decent European team. The first competitive games we played in 2008-2009 season were against a team from the Faroe Islands called Strainer. We beat them 2-0 away and then 2-0 at home. We then played a team from Midtjylland, who were from Sweden. No, sorry, Norway. Norway? Yeah, Norway. We lost the away leg. We lost the away leg. Right?
We won the
home leg by the same score that we lost the away leg. And we beat them. We beat them on penalties. So you say a decent European team.
Shit's European team.
Yeah.
If we're being fair, this season was the start of our European journey.
Briefly.
Being honest.
Then
briefly.
But we put our foot into UEFA competitions, didn't we?
We've been in it before. We've been in it before that.
We took it further. We'll get to that in a bit, though.
Right, do you know what? Let's actually start off. Obviously, we're following after the season before. So, season before, Taksin Shinawatra came in to replace I'm pretty sure, was it a public company that owned City at that point before Shinawatra came in? I'm trying to remember 2007. It was a long time ago for me, but it wasn't. It was like, 17 years ago, something like that long. But yeah, I don't remember anything about them anyway. But obviously, we got an owner in for about a year, obviously, because the guy bought loads of money, put loads of money into the club, bought 3 Thai young players that did nothing at the club anyway, and to have really middling careers anyway. And then all of a sudden, Thailand, no, money back to us, please. And then he went. So
and then he went missing.
He went missing. So a year of just losing 8-1 to Middlesbrough under Gareth Southgate, winning certain games and drawing loads of games, losing loads of games. It's like, it's just an absolute weird season of just under Ericsson, RIP. We'll see him now. Obviously, he's no longer with us anymore. And then now the year after, so Taksin's obviously gone. He had to sell the club, and City are looking bleak going into the end of a transfer window.
Who was the manager?
Mark Hughes.
I thought Mark Hughes took over mid-season.
No, he was the start of the season.
My memory was wrong on that then.
Basically,
I don't know why I thought that.
This was quite an important transfer window as well.
It was, I remember that.
This was before we had even been taken over. We had a pretty decent transfer window. We brought in, well, I say decent. We brought in Joe, but that's a whole other topic.
Right.
But we brought Wright Phillips back. We got Company. I think was De Jong that season as well, or was that the season after?
We'll get on to so basically. We started the season obviously under a private ownership, didn't we? I think that's how I'm trying. I'm reading up.
Yes.
It was under UK Sports Investments Limited, UKSIL. It was obviously controlled by Shinawatra, that was a company that you control it. And then obviously the morning of the 1st September 2008, that was the day that the club was taken over by Abu Dhabi-based investment group ADUG under Sheikh Mansour for £200 million. £200 million that was, which probably now is probably worth how much? Well, I'm not going to say 200 billion, way too much for a football club, but I'd say what, 3 billion now, I'd say? 3 billion quid?
I think
we
when I
looked
looked
into
the
that
other
last
day,
week, it was about 2 billion.
yeah, I was going to say we looked the other week and it was just over 2 billion.
But obviously rising up more and more now, obviously for the season, because
Yeah.
obviously but you know what I mean. It's been a long, obviously process. Obviously, Sheikh Mansour came in. Obviously, it wasn't just obviously him, was it? Was others as well? Am I right in saying, or was it just him?
Sheikh Mansour Khaldoon came as well.
Yeah, it was obviously because obviously there was Khaldoon became obviously chairman,
Yeah.
and obviously deadline day. On that day, we brought in Rubinho, £32.5 million. What player he was, by the way.
Well, you say about it being an important transfer window, right? I've got yes, it was the last Thomas Cook season.
It was.
I've got the summer transfers. So these are the players that we signed in the summer before we were taken over. Joe, Tal Ben-Aim,
Gary Cook.
Vincent Company.
Yes.
The least said, the better.
6
Sean
million
Wright
for Company.
Phillips.
What a bargain.
Sean Wright Phillips, Pablo Zabaleta, and Glauber Bertie.
Legend.
Oh, that's a throwback. That is a throwback.
If we're being honest, bro, Company, Zabaleta, Wright Phillips, they are really important
W
signings for the
signings. Rubinho, L.
Yeah.
I think L.
I don't know. Shawnee never did it when he came back. He had that initial second debut, didn't he? And then a couple of games after. But the majority of that season, I mean, his stats for that season are shocking. For someone who was so good for us previously, what did he? What was it? I saw it a minute ago. I had stats of players up. Bear with me.
Right, Joe. What? I'll go through the preseason friendly, shall we, before we get into the season? So,
Yeah, go on.
we played against a team called Metala Zaporizhia. Now, where are they right now? They are apparently a professional team. Oh, so they're actually in the first league, but I had no idea who they were beforehand. I do know some Ukrainian teams like Shakhtar and Dynamo Kiev. I know a few teams, but yeah. So that game was draw 0-0. We lost to Hamburg 1-0. Betroipa, I remember him. He was quite a quick player, wasn't he? I can't remember who he played for, but I know he played for other teams, but I never recognise the name. Drew Stockport County 2-0.
Didn't we play at Barnsley? We played at their ground.
At Stockport's ground, yeah, at Eshley Park.
I'm sure we played a home fixture at Barnsley's ground that season. It might be later on.
Might be later on, yeah.
Yeah, like a European qualifier, because I'm sure the Etihad was being repaired or something, and we couldn't play it there. So and it was played at Barnsley.
Legend Nunes
of the day. Shut up, man. Nunes has played more games than Bertie did in his career.
No, Bertie's a better player.
He did get player of the season, to be fair. So
let's see Nunes get player of the season.
So basically, in that game, a certain player called Anthony Pilkington scored. That's Dutch, if you remember him from Norwich.
Yeah.
And then Bojinov and was it Ched Evans scored? Was it Ched Evans? Yeah, Ched Evans scored.
Yeah,
well,
the less we say about Ched Evans, the better.
Yeah. Moving on. Celtic away, Petrov scored, and McGowan. Paul McGowan. I don't even know how that goes. So we actually did with
it. Bojinov was, by the way.
Valery Bojinov was a player, by the way.
He was. If he didn't get so many injuries, Bojinov would have been a brilliant player.
Yeah.
And then we won our first trophy, the Thomas Cook Trophy.
We always won it.
I went to that game. I remember that game.
I don't think we ever didn't win it. It was literally made for us.
It's great.
The Spurs trophy.
I remember my dad. I remember we used to win that every year, and that was the last one. That was the last one, that Thomas Cook Trophy, because we weren't going to be Thomas Cook the year after. And I remember my dad said to me, he goes, "Well, they made us with this trophy. We literally make it so we can win it, because we're never going to win a trophy for real." That's what he used to say.
Famous last words.
Yeah, now look at us.
So, Bojinov obviously got the goal of that game. We won 1-0. Who actually played that game for Milan? I'm trying to think who actually played that game. Because Milan were good at the time. They were actually good at the time, weren't they? They were a good team.
2008. Yeah, they were still quite a top team at that stage.
It wasn't long after they'd won the Champions League.
Yeah, it was. So I'm trying to think who played that. Oh, I can't really see who the team was, but I'm sure someone will let us know who played that game. But yeah, so we actually only won one game in that preseason. I mean, it was Thomas Cook Trophy.
Well,
yeah.
that foreshadows our season quite well, then, doesn't it?
So we'll get into it. Into the Premier League season. Well, actually, no, transfers.
There weren't many of them.
There weren't many, but we'll go into it. So, if we can find a way transfer this is right. So, we'll start with first team players coming in. We got in Joe from CSK Moscow for £18 million.
He was supposed to be such a good player, but we must have signed his distant cousin or something.
Joao. Portuguese reject.
He definitely wasn't Brazilian, was he?
He was. He was Bolivian, not Brazilian.
That's quite good for you, actually. Very good.
Oh,
Very
thank you for that. Anyway, moving on. Tal Ben Hayim from Chelsea.
He wasn't a bad player, to be fair.
It wasn't a bad signing. $5 million. It was. He got the job done. He wasn't brilliant. He wasn't bad either. He was just decent.
He was all right. He wasn't dreadful. I mean,
he wasn't Joe, was he?
His debut in the Premier League for us was god awful. But if you can remember that game, I can because I was there. Then everyone was crap that day. We'll get into that in a minute when we go on to the scores of the season. But he was. But other than that, he wasn't really that bad. He was, average. But he was about as good as we were going to get at the time.
Yeah.
So
around Richard Dunn's quality, wasn't he? So they made a pretty good
Brazilian wax. He was terrible. He was honestly shite. Honestly. Next up was Company from Hamburg for £6 million.
One of the best Premier League signings of all time. Massive.
Took a while to get going, though.
Yeah, it starts at the
He was a midfielder at first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
This
is what I mean. Like he wasn't.
Ben Hughes moved him to defender, and he became one of, if not the best Premier League.
Yeah.
Defender.
If you think it like you say, he came as a defensive midfielder. He started playing there, and if you listen to all the ex-pros, like you listen to podcasts with Michael Richards and stuff, they said they were like looking at him thinking, "What the hell is this guy? Like he's thin." He's slow. He can't move. Like there's no muscle to him. Like what on earth?
Like when you look at the company we signed to the company he left.
Exactly. He took a few years to get going because when we first signed him, you thought he ain't gonna be like a world beater. And then he got moved back. Then he started to build a bit of muscle, get a bit of.
And then he became captain.
Exactly.
He became a better player when he became captain.
Yeah, exactly. He was brilliant. I mean, you can't. He's up there with our greatest ever players, isn't he? And he cost £6 million.
Yeah, you could definitely argue top 3 players of all time.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Easily.
Next up was Sean Phillips, back from Chelsea. Now,
my heart was fixed when he came back.
He was great.
It was the worst day of my life when Wright Phillips left. And then when he came back, it was a dream come true.
You sad bastard.
What's wrong with that?
But I don't really agree with bringing players back. I think we let him go. We got the money for him, and he wasn't fantastic when he came back. But
Bellamy. Yeah,
Bellamy was in January.
We'll get on to that obviously in a bit. Obviously, look, SWP when he left was way better than the player we got back in from Chelsea. That's the way.
Ruined him, but he was still a good player for us when he.
He was. Like there was no doubt that he was still a decent player, but like Luke said, then there's no way he was the same player that we sold to Chelsea. The player we sold to Chelsea was 10 times a better player than we bought back. But him coming
he definitely lost the yard of pace when he came.
Yeah, him coming back was almost. It's one of those signings because we were going through a bit of uncertainty, losing Thaxton, however you say his name, like all that kind of mess up in the air. Then, we get because he was signed before the money came in, wasn't he? But we still had that era of uncertainty, didn't we? Like we didn't know what was going on. because he'd had his assets frozen, and we're buying these players, and everybody's a bit like. And then Shawnee comes back, and it was kind of one of those that lightens the mood a bit. So
if you think about that transfer window, if we didn't make the Rubinho signing, and if we didn't get taken over, right, Phillips would have been the highlight of that window.
Probably,
yeah, exactly. That's my point. Yeah.
Best involved for about 8.5 million. But you remember, 8.5 million back then was a lot of money. Like, even what was it? I mean, what was it? A £32 million as well for Rubinho was a lot of money. Now
it was the British record, wasn't it, Rubinho?
It was before Torres went to Chelsea. It's like back then, this money was huge that it was spending, whereas now it's like changing.
And you know what the mad thing is? 32.5 million for Rubinho is 6 million less than we paid for Aguero a few years later.
Crazy,
that's what, 3-4 years difference?
Yeah. I have no idea how.
So we signed Aguero in late 2012, didn't we? No, 2011.
11. Yeah, when we signed him.
Yeah. So 3 years later.
So then after
Rubinho wasn't a bad signing for the most part.
He wasn't.
That season he was good. He was top scorer, but after that he completely dropped off.
Yeah. Now Zabaleta was a great sign for Espanyol. 6.45 million we got him for. That's another bargain. Another.
Yeah, he was bought as a midfielder as well, wasn't he? He was a winger.
Was a winger? Oh yeah, he was. I remember that now.
He was winger, defensive. It says DF. So whatever.
Defender.
Yeah, defender. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Direct forward.
But no, he wasn't a defender.
Forward, like for me,
he wasn't a defender when we signed him. He was more of a defensive, like a full, like a wing back. Winger player, yeah.
Zaba was great. I mean, I can't remember. Was Zaba great to begin with? I'm trying to remember now.
He was more of a cult hero, wasn't he, at the time?
Yeah, he wasn't.
He never put in a bad shift.
No,
he always turned up and got the job done, but he wasn't like he didn't do anything flashy.
No,
he just got on with it.
Yeah, he just did it, and he was. I think it was more so in like the next season and the season after when he started to cement himself as a bit of a fan favorite, and then he started to like you just his work rate was second to none. Like it was just unrelentless, like Bernardo Silva kind of relentless running from him, and you knew what you were getting.
You can't fault Zaba for anything. He was massive for the club at the time.
Yeah.
Exactly, his Nick. He was a full
back. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, not wing back.
He wasn't like a Carl Walker or a Frimpong today. Like he's not that kind of player. Yeah. He was always like a right back, go forward and bomb forward when he needed to. That was kind of a good player we needed in that team at the time, I think. Now Glauber from Nuremberg. Wow, for undisclosed
player of the season, mate.
Undisclosed fee. That's a bit dodgy. That. I find that weird. Undisclosed fee. Why? Why not disclosing how much can we pay for him for? Like, what are you trying to hide there?
Don't bring that up. We'll have another charge in a minute.
Oh, sorry, City. But he was, nothing special. Nothing special at all.
I genuinely can't even remember him. If we're
being honest. Brazil.
He's made one appearance.
I also remember, right? Brazil at this time were coming off a real low point. Like the team had dropped off last week. Like even now, Brazil now are nowhere near the team they used to be. They're some good players, but Brazil 2004 was the last great Brazil team that they had.
They were still quite good in 2008, though. They still had obviously Rubinho. They still had Kaká.
But it wasn't the same level of players as the year before. It was definitely starting to come down a bit. I think that's why with Brazil now, it's a good player, but not really a team is anymore.
Here's a fun thing about Glauber Berti, right? He made his Manchester City debut and only appearance on the 38th game of the season when he was substituted in the 84th minute for left-back Wayne Bridge against Bolton Wanderers. He was cheered every time he touched the ball and got a standing ovation when he took a throw-in. He was voted man of the match with an average rating of 10 out of 10 and was voted fans player of the season for that year.
Well, he was subbed on and we kept a clean sheet, so you can't really fault him.
Hey, it's current young City now. Like, what the hell are we doing? The thing is, because a lot of these fans online now don't have humour. They just take everything too seriously, and like it's like a business transaction now. Football, when they do it, they worry about other people react to them. Just honestly, football when it's like that is so much more fun than football when it is when we're online. It's way better.
Oh yeah.
Well, we all know football Twitter's ruined quite a lot.
Oh,
of
as
things.
Yeah, those people with like 11,000 followers on Twitter tweeting crap every day. Yeah, those lot.
Cheers for that. Thank you. Very specific about followers there. Go fuck yourself.
If we're being honest, these people that have that many followers but hide behind a player picture.
Yeah.
I'm not a player. Right, moving on quickly. Now, right, Robinho, £32.5 million. Let's be brutally honest here. No, 15 goals.
It was a statement, wasn't it? It wasn't about the player. It was about
Yeah.
putting us on the map. I mean, Robinho didn't even know we were on the map, did he?
He didn't know.
Well, apparently
he didn't even know who he was playing for.
God,
Prison FC now.
He thought he joined United. We thought we bought a world-class player. So who lost?
Now, in January
was an amazing transfer market we had.
We bought in Wayne Bridge and Chelsea for like £10 million.
Well, that was shite. I can remember that signing. I can remember it being announced, and everyone was like, "Okay, that's a decent signing. That is Wayne Bridge," because it'd be like he was injury prone, wasn't he? But he was a good player, bar injuries. Wayne Bridge.
And just going off that comment, Robinho was Kaka.
Yeah. But I remember we announced Wayne Bridge the day before we played Nottingham Forest, who were in the league below in the FA Cup. We played Forest at home.
Yeah.
And we bought him out at half time when we were 2-0 down to Forest.
We lost that game
3-0, didn't we? My dad turned around to me and goes, "Christ, he's signed for us now," and he must think, "What the fuck am I doing here?"
What have I got myself into now?
And then afterwards, we all thought, "Why the fuck did we buy him?"
Yeah, not good, really, was he? I mean, great signing at the time, but just didn't really have potential that he could have done.
There's only one reason why we bought him, though, isn't it? It's because of that stuff with John Terry.
Oh, God.
Well, to be fair, that wasn't out then, but he did want out of Chelsea, so
he'd have known about it before it was public. So
he wasn't the worst signing in the world. When we signed him, brilliant.
For the time when we didn't really have a left back, and our only left back was Garrido.
Yeah,
Wayne Bridge was.
Garrido. Sorry about that. Yeah,
I liked Garrido.
You could argue Garrido was probably
before Jordi Alba. There was Garrido.
Javier Garrido was a decent player. He was all right. He was a good little player.
Now, one player I loved, especially, was Craig Bellamy from West Ham. £14 million I got him for. Now, was Bellamy a world-class player? No. But was Bellamy a very good player for what he could do? Absolutely. Newcastle, West Ham, City, just great. I mean, a very underrated player by many as well. Bellamy, I think he was rated.
Yeah, definitely. He wasn't at City very long, but during his time, he was one of my favourite players.
He was a leader as well.
Especially the next season when he linked up with Tevez. That was a brilliant partnership. Yeah, Bellamy was a brilliant player when he turned up, and it was usually every game.
Yeah. Again, it's like I said with Zabaleta, you were never, ever going to get someone who didn't work his bollocks off when you played Bellamy.
Similar to Bernardo, he never stops running.
Yeah, and he was rapid at running as well. He was so quick. He was just hard, wasn't he, Bellamy?
He's got a reputation of being a bit of a nutcase, like Barton, but
he was never that bad.
He had his moments, didn't he? But he did get some important goals for us that season and the season after.
Yeah,
40 games he played for us. 40
Now-
games,
It's
15
more.
goals.
You'd think it was a lot more, but he wasn't at City for very long.
He was only there 2 years. And
Now,
then
another
he went-
signing that was great was De Jong from Hamburg. £16 million we got De Jong for, and I thought De Jong was a great player for us while I was here. Yes, the foul on Xabi Alonso will always be remembered for that foul when he actually kung fu kicks in the chest. But apart from that, De Jong was a very, very good player for us. I think for the money we got, the money we spent on him, I thought he was a good. I'm not sure about you two. I know look at the prices of our players now. It'd probably be a bit more than that in the current day. I think we're looking at it as a squad player. I thought he was alright. I mean, could have been obviously a bit cheaper, but I think for the player he was at the time, I think it was a good signing overall. What about you two?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad signing. He was a decent squad player. I think the better defensive midfielder was bought the next season
Yeah.
in Gareth Barry, who
Oh,
I think was incredibly underrated. And if we're being honest, I think De Jong was slightly overrated.
Yeah.
I liked De Jong. I thought he was another one of those like Bellamy that was just a hard footballer.
I did like him. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He
No,
was
I get
slightly
you.
overrated.
Gareth Barry was definitely a better player for us.
Yeah.
But De
Breaking
Jong
news.
filled that gap when we needed him, didn't he?
Breaking news. Thomas Tuchel will be England manager.
But
Confirmed.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I've had one person that I follow and that just tweets news out. Say that's been confirmed. I think we'll start seeing that come out the papers now. Okay, well, I know we're not England's conversation, but I thought it'd be worth putting in there. But yeah, that's all right. I'm interested to see how that works out. But yeah, we'll see what happens now.
I have no comment either way. I don't really care.
Couldn't give a shite.
No, but it's just like a bit of news, isn't it? A bit of news, but yeah.
A German as English
for the-
manager, freaking hell.
For the people who do care, there's some news for you.
Yeah.
Shay Given.
Oh, what a signing.
Brilliant signing.
Yeah, what a signing he was, and what a player. Again, you're talking like we signed leaders that season. Like, you could go through a list of them players, and there's leaders in that team there. You know, Shay Given, Nigel de Jong, Craig Bellamy, Bridge to a certain extent. Company ended up becoming one, you know, and all the other players that we had as well. Sean Wright-Phillips, Zabaleta. We signed players that are just consistently working, work. Like, not, there's no
apart from
glamorous player
Robinho.
there.
Apart from Robinho, they were all squad players. They weren't individuals.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no like, apart from Robinho, there's nobody there who is a flair player. They are all workhorses. They are all brilliant. They are all just like, we'll give you 120% every game without fail. But Given was the best of the lot for me. That signing, I remember when we signed him, I was like, okay, because at the time he was one of the best keepers in the league. No two ways about it.
Yeah, he was Newcastle's number one. He was a very highly regarded Premier League keeper. It was a massive signing.
And still is today. Like, he's still regarded as one of the best ever in the league today. And
yeah, definitely. But he was slightly overshadowed by Hart, and people forget about how good Given was.
Oh, yeah.
For the time he was keeper, it was like 2 seasons or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now,
he was a great keeper. Great goalkeeper.
Barely ever made a mistake. He was a really reliable goalkeeper.
Now, in terms of reserve signing, we got players in. I mean, not players I would say that are worth discussing. I mean, was it Marcelo Trotta from Napoli? I mean, yeah, not many players that just did much for us anyway. So I wouldn't say that's worth discussing.
It was a big season for the youth players as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
we were playing Anua, Sturridge was brought in, Ireland had a great season, Richards was playing more.
I've never heard of any of these.
What, Micah Richards?
No, I mean like the academy players. Who are these?
Right.
No idea who any of these. Who's Marcelo Trotta? Never heard of him.
Now, in terms of players leaving, we had Andreas Isaacson go to PSV. I mean,
Not asked. He was just being rotated by Sven, wasn't he? Between him, Hart, and Schmeichel, and he wasn't the best, was he?
No. Sun Ji-hai went to Sheffield United on a free transfer.
That Marcelo Trotter,
Yeah.
in a career spanning from 2000 and pro career, so not youth career, spanning 2011 to now, he's played for 18 different clubs.
Bloody hell.
So from the moment he left Manchester City, he signed for Fulham's Youth Academy, where he made one appearance. He's played for 18 different clubs, and the most amount of appearances he made for one single club was Brentford, when they were in what is now League One. He made 36 appearances and scored 13 goals. And his next highest was 10 years later, when he played for Avellino, when he's made 30 appearances.
Just to say, right, he can make a whole league of faithful. He could do a Trotter league at this point.
And I've only ever heard of Brentford and Barnsley for the players. Oh, Sassuolo as well.
Sassuolo, yeah.
That's
now,
it.
yeah, well, see, Sun Ji-hai, right, he did give his all. I mean, he's obviously a club legend, obviously, yeah. He gave his all. Now, Giovanni went to Hull. I like Giovanni personally. I like the way he said
That was a shame that Giovanni left, because he was decent in Sven's season.
Yeah. Samrath went to Celtic.
Samaras wasn't great, but I did like him at the same time.
Yeah. Bernardo Corradi went to Regina.
Great player.
Who was that?
Corradi.
Oh, right.
Bernardo Corradi. He barely scored a goal, and he was a striker. I think I've never seen a striker score so few goals.
Who did we have in that season before? We had Bianchi, Corradi, Vassell,
Bojanov.
Benjani.
Yeah, and Bojanov.
Yeah. Paul Dickov went to Leicester on a free transfer. I mean, wasn't that when he came back? Yeah, when they left again, didn't he? Left again. Was that right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, Stuart Pearce brought him back, didn't he?
Yeah, Stuart Pearce. Anyway, moving on. Rolando Bianchi went to Torino.
Bianchi had a great season for us the season before.
Yeah, he did. He was actually not a bad player, was he?
No, he was a decent player.
Now, Vedran Chorluka, a Harrod atmospheric player, along with Kranjkar, went to Tottenham. Was it Kranjkar, Sandro, and Blee? That's Harry, mate.
What a player he was.
Chorluka.
Yeah, Chorluka was far too good for us then. He was one of those players that you thought, we've got a gem of a player here.
Ooh, hair choice.
Haaland, definitely.
Samaras was more glossy, wasn't it?
Yeah, well.
Greasy, no pun intended.
And then Emil and Penza went to Philip Argyle. I mean, yeah.
I loved Penza.
Before, your buddy Lukaku's, it was in Penza.
I loved Penza, yeah. I thought he was as good as it gets.
Soon, mate.
Gelson Fernandez was the year before.
I think, yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, because Sven signed him. And Sven said he was the best Swiss player ever. Well, it's not hard, is it?
Well, Zakaria and Xhaka have said otherwise, but
yeah, it have since become taken over that. But yeah, it was Gelson.
Akanji,
yeah.
Kiri, another good player.
Well, if we're talking 16 years ago, the Swiss team was a lot different.
Now, do you know what's funny, right? So those three Thai players that were brought in, but were released the year after.
Tal Ben-Aim only played for us for 6 months.
Yeah, well, went on loan to Sunderland, and so did Joe.
Is that it? He only had it for 6 months.
He was and Joe went on loan in the February as well to Everton.
Right.
Did he score a goal? Jesus Christ! Look at that. It's not going to work.
That was it, Steve. Yeah, he did. Remember that? He did for us. He did force a move to Luca. He did force it. Something because Spurs won. I don't know, one stuff at Tottenham. He was a big move to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Big moves to Tottenham. Remember the thing?
It's going to work? I don't know. Look at that's Joe.
Christ.
His hair.
Bloody hell.
Joe's hair, Haaland's hair, or who's the other one? Samaras's hair.
Haaland always, mate. Haaland always.
Now we have to agree. unanimous decision. Hamann was useless.
Now, the start of the season was pretty well. Yeah, Villa beat us 4-2. John Carew, remember him?
I was there that day.
Gabby
Gabby Agbonlahor got a perfect hat trick.
Yeah. And then Alana got a goal and obviously Toluca scored. But yeah, we lost 4-2 to Villa the first game.
Yeah, we were 4-0 down. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, because you've got it in front of you, that Gabby's hat trick was in the space of a few minutes.
7-minute hat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He tore us apart. I was there that day.
If I'm right in saying that was a record before Mane did it for Southampton, didn't he? Against Villa.
I think it was, yeah.
Ironically against Villa.
No, it might not have been. Hang on. But that's one of the quickest.
I know his pass is still Mane right now. It's still the fastest hat trick right now. I know that's certain.
Yeah, Mane's got it at the minute. 2 minutes, 56 seconds. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, mate, that was a mad game as well. Villa was so bad that game.
Robbie Fowler.
That was it, yeah.
So Robbie Fowler did it in 4 minutes 33.
That was it, Fowler. Yeah.
Jermaine Defoe did it in exactly 7 minutes, and then it's Gabby Agbonlahor in 7 minutes 10 seconds.
Wow, that's mad.
2 minutes 56
At least he
seconds.
didn't break the record against us.
Yeah. Now, let's get to West Ham. A certain Sturridge scored for us against West Ham. Now, was
Sturridge was brilliant that season.
Was that his first goal for us?
It's a shame he had to leave how he did.
Yeah. And obviously, Ireland got 2 goals. Then Sunderland away won 3-0. Ireland got a goal and 2 goals from FWP. So we got 2 wins out of 3. Wasn't too bad actually for a start. Could have been a lot worse. Sitting in 4th at this point. And then Chelsea comes to town and beat us 3-1. Now,
we don't care that we lost that game. It was just all about Robinho, wasn't it?
yeah, he scored a goal. And Cavaglio scored, Lampard scored, Nelka scored, and Nelka scored, by the way. Nelka scored.
Yeah. And he celebrated as well, the bastard.
The journeyman. Arsenal.
But yeah, I remember that because we scored the free kick and you're thinking, oh, we could beat him here. And then we went on, got battered.
And John Terry.
It was a statement, wasn't it? We got a good goal against Chelsea, but we weren't able to beat them yet.
And then the week after that, we battered Pompey 6-0.
I remember that as well.
Yeah, Joe, Dunn, Robinho, Rock Phillips, Chet Evans, moving on, and Gils Fernandez.
Yeah, it was 6 different goal scorers.
Yeah, 6-0.
Yeah, 6-0, 6 goal scorers.
If I'm right in saying, wasn't that it went down Pompey?
Yeah, and Newcastle went down as well.
That was it. Yeah, they were terrible.
Who scored the 6th?
Gelson Fernandez, I think.
The best Swiss player.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Now, what squad number? Hang on. Does it give you squad numbers on there?
It will. I can't speak. Where's the squad screen?
Because I can't remember whether it was that or a different bit, and it's one of the best bits of commentary I've ever heard from City. But I don't know if it was that goal. I don't think it was
19. So
no, it wasn't then. The best bit I'm on about, I think it was someone scored, whoever was number 6, and it was the 6th goal, and it was their 6th of the season, our 6th of the game, 6 minutes from the end, with 6 minutes added time. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was about the 84th minute. There was going to be 6 added on, and yeah, it was brilliant commentary.
Well, I've heard
I thought it was that, but I don't think it was.
Well, I've heard that goal was the reason. Well, that's the reason why we ended up getting 1-1-5 because the devil appeared after that. 6-6-6.
Oh yeah, we paid Mancini, didn't we? Before he was even a thing.
Yeah. And then we won the week after that. Was that right? So Company scored for us. Antonio Valencia scored. Yeah, Antonio Valencia scored. Of course he did.
Against Wigan.
And then Zaki. Remember Zaki?
Oh, I mean Zaki.
That's a fun.
He was a baller.
Yeah.
The Hugo Rodallega kind of player. He scored the other day.
He did, yeah. Now this is a painful one. Liverpool at home. 3-2.
Yeah, we got battered.
Well, no. Well, it's weird because like
We were 2-0 up. And
2-0
then,
up.
Yeah. That
Zabaleta
was
got
it.
sent off.
Yes. We were 2-0 up. We went down to 10 men, and then they absolutely took us apart.
2 goals from Torres and 1 from
and then
Yeah.
Dirk out last minute winner, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Who was sent off? I can't remember.
Zabba.
Zabba, yes. Zabba. Yeah. And that was it. After we went down to 10, we fell apart and they battered us.
Yeah. Then Newcastle away 2-2. Amiobi. Shout out Amiobi, remember him?
And his brother.
Sammy. And then, well, Mourinho scored. Ireland literally saved us to get a point because Rich Dunn put his own net again. Surprise.
That was one
you
of
can
only
always
two.
rely on Dunny on an own goal, can't you?
That was one of only 2 Rubinho away goals.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Everton was the next one.
Was it that Phil Brown got?
He scored at Everton. He might have scored 3 away from home then, but he only scored the handful, if that.
Yeah. So then after that we had Stoke. Patrick Rubinho. He's arrived. Patrick against Stoke.
Oh, that was a great game. I remember that when he got that hat trick. That was a brilliant game of football.
Yeah. And then we returned to Middlesbrough and lose 2-0.
Fond memories of Middlesbrough, don't we?
Oh, I hate fucking one. And then everybody Alves again. This guy can't put Fonz of Alves, man. And then was that Gary O'Neill? Yeah, Gary O'Neill scored against us as well.
Did he?
Yeah, Gary O'Neill scored a second goal. Fuck's sake, man. Oh,
But we'll get our revenge on Sunday.
That was a boxing day, yeah.
We'll get him sacked.
Right. Bolton won 2-0. Now, was that Craig Gardner who scored for Bolton? Was it Gary Gardner? No, it wasn't Gary.
Craig.
And then another own goal by, you guessed it, Richard Dunn.
Yeah, he got more own goals than yellow cards.
It
that
was
season.
Ricardo Gardner for Bolton.
Ricardo.
Yes.
Gardner, that was it. I remember him now, yeah. And after that, so Fulham went Tottenham at home, lost 2-1. Fucking hell, that Ricardo's game. So we scored first for Rubinho. Then Gelson got sent off for half an hour mark. Then Darren
That was
Bent,
a double yellow.
and then Darren Bent scored, and then scored again. Then Dunn got sent off, so it's down to 9 men. And then Aston scored 3 cards in one bloody game.
Yeah. That was a mental game, that was. Fernandez was booked for something ridiculous and then booked again a few minutes later.
Yeah, you got to calm down.
If I remember that right. But yeah, I remember that being a really dodgy one.
Yeah.
That was, though.
Then away to Hull, 2-2 draw. So still,
I was going to say we didn't win that, did we?
No, because Daniel Cousin scored. He is. Then Daniel Cousin. And then Ben Haim got 2 goals that game. How Ben Haim got 2 goals in a game. And the equaliser was scored by Giovanni, of course.
Did he score against us?
He did, yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
I can't remember that. No, I can't remember that at all.
Well, it says Cousin, mate, on here. So I'm not sure whether Kuza. Mate, I don't even know, mate. It says play Cousin on here, so I'm going to guess some idiot's probably got that wrong. So,
Brixie, you weren't even born then, mate. So
then we beat Arsenal 3-0, didn't we? We beat Arsenal 3-0 after that, out of nowhere.
This was more like it. That was a really good game against Arsenal.
Arnold Rubinho, Sturridge, yeah.
Yes, that was the 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
That Rubinho goal was insane.
That little dink over Almunia.
Oh, what a goal! What a goal!
Yeah.
Right in front of me, that was as well.
As a whole, Sturridge, Rubinho, and Ireland were all on it that day. They were really, really good.
We battered Arsenal that day.
Now, after that, we lost United 1-0.
Moving on.
Is he tell beat that?
No, I wasn't. Oh, no, was I? Yeah, I would have been. No, I would have been 16, 17.
Beat that.
I'm keeping that.
He's keeping it, yeah. So, yeah, lost 1-0 to United, but Rooney got a goal, Shrek got a goal. And then
He always scored against us. He was such a brilliant player, but I fucking hate him at the same time.
a red card there for Ronaldo, which was funny.
Yes.
I remember
that.
He got sent off against us a few times. Twice, I think.
And Michael Bull, he got sent off the day Michael Bull stamped on him as well. That might have been that one. In fairness.
That's the highlight of Michael Bull's career. That.
Then away to Fulham, we drew 1-1. Benjani got a goal. First goal of the season, I think, for this point. I think, at this point. I'm not sure that's correct or not. And then Bullard scored. Two Bullard scored for Fulham against us.
He always scored against us, Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah.
He's another one of them that you could.
Which team was it when he did the halftime team
Talk
on the pitch?
Yeah.
The season after.
That was the next season.
Yeah. Michael bullshit on Ronaldo. That's what I want to say. mate, everyone watches Ronaldo doesn't know about this, right? This was before we actually were good. So this is like, for us, this is like, just, this is actually good level for us right at this point. Hollow 9-10, yeah. Everton lost 1-0. Tim Cahill, last minute winner.
Yeah,
obviously it was Tim Cahill. I have Vietnam flashbacks about Cahill.
Vietnam flashbacks.
Honestly, I can remember that game as clear as day. I can remember being sat in my seat. So it was my dad, me, my granddad, and I can't remember. I think we only had 3 tickets then, actually. And this bloke behind, he was obviously working for a bookies because the whole game he was on his phone talking about like minimal kind of parts that were happening. So he'd be like throwing away team, and then you do nothing, and then it'd be throwing home team, free kick home team, ball forward home team, and that was literally all it was all day, all game. I don't know if my dad would remember this, but yeah, he should do. And my granddad said something like, "It's never over until it's over," because I remember Everton outplayed us. And they had shot after shot after shot, and it was like away team shot. And I was like, it's fine, we'll get a point here, we'll get a point. Cross comes in, Cahill header, bang. And then the bloke behind, obviously, like I said, he must have been talking to bookies, goes away team, goal, 1-0, Tim Cahill. This bloke must have been a few rows behind me, a couple of rows in front of him, so just behind me, turns around and proper went like, effing and jeffing at him. You shut your mouth. All you've done all game is talk, and going off at him like, we've lost now and that. And it was, it nearly kicked off.
So he waited until the final second of the game to say something.
Yeah.
It's like Arsenal time wasting, isn't it?
Rest the game, let them do it. Don't do it straight away. But do you know what's annoying after that, though? To West Brom away, lost 2-1. The week after.
Yeah.
Now, Moore. Luke Moore. Oh, yeah. Oh, Luke Moore. I remember it. And these guys, it's Swansea, isn't it? It's called
Swansea.
That was it. Then Caicedo scored. Not Moises. Felipe Caicedo scored for us.
Hey.
Bloody freaking Roman Bednar. Last minute winner. Another last minute winner 2 weeks in a row. How painful can it possibly be? Home and away.
I don't remember him. Roman Bentner.
And just to be clear, right, at this point after that loss, we're 18th in the league. No ownership. 18th.
Were we?
We're 18th relegation zone.
People think this season was glamorous.
No, it wasn't as glamorous as we remember it.
No,
nowhere near. It was shocking.
It had its moments. It had really, really big moments.
But as typical City, we're back now. Yeah.
It's the next season really when it all starts going.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Our next stream we do this. Trust me, be a lot better than this. Just this is the last banter season, I'd say, before we get on to the good stuff. So, I'll say this week.
Banter season. This is my childhood, you bellend. I grew up watching City play like this. How do you think I feel? Banter season.
I was 8, okay? I was 8. Trust me, for me, it was being on operations in the hospital and watching this. Do you really think it was fun for me at this point? No. It's like, great.
Well, I was getting bullied every day in school for being a City fan during all of this, and I still stuck by us. So, We all win.
Well done, yeah. Then we went Hull 5-1. There we go. Much better now. Much better.
Yes, I remember that. And that was the game where Phil, what's his name, the manager? Phil
Brown.
Phil Brown, yeah. Originally did on the centre circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that game that he did it originally. And then obviously it made massive news. And then the following season, when Jimmy Bullard scored for Hull, they did the celebration.
Yeah. This Caicedo got 2, Rubinho got 2, Ireland got 1, and was it Craig Fagan who scored for Hull? Fagan? Yeah, something like that, yeah. I remember that name.
Yeah, we all forget how good Ireland was for a few seasons.
It's brilliant. Then Blackburn away 2-all. I was like, oh, just can't win 2 in a row, can we?
I was at that game. It was a really fun experience to score a last-minute winner.
So
Equaliser. We drew 2-all.
Equaliser, sorry, that's what I meant.
I guess it was Benny McCarthy scored, didn't he, that game? And it was it Robert? Is it Jason Roberts?
Yes.
Jason Roberts? Yeah, I remember him. Good player, actually. Good for him. Him, Ikubu as well. Done like Ikubu at Blackburn.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Mate, but Blackburn has some good players, that team. Obviously, they weren't a great team, but they were a decent mid-table team that time.
Ikubu played for Blackburn. I forgot about
that. Yeah, and Portsmouth.
Yeah, I remember his Portsmouth days.
Yeah. Then after that, Wigan at home. Zaba scores against Wigan.
That was a great goal. That was a volley. That was it bounced back, sort of ricocheted a bit, and he's bent it on the volleys around the post. And that was nearly last minute.
No, it was
53rd minute.
Which was funny, right?
After we got that game.
Yeah. After we got the goal, Dunn got sent off straight afterwards.
Yes.
Fucking man. Just, come on, Richard.
That's where I'm getting confused, yeah, because we had 10 men and saw the game out.
Yeah.
I remember that being a really good win.
Yeah.
At the time.
Because after that, we had Newcastle at home and 1-2-1. So finally got 2 back-to-back. Actually, I'm beaten in 4 games now. Pretty nice. How long that last, I wonder?
Bellamy scoring on his debut as well in that game.
WP. And was it Andy Carroll still? Yeah, Andy Carroll scored as well. Again, Newcastle. The young Andy Carroll. Yeah, Andy Carroll scored for Newcastle. That's good. I thought he started. Because I remember getting a hat trick. Was it a couple of years later, wasn't it? He was quite a promising player when he Carroll at one point.
Yeah, then he signed for Liverpool and went down the pan.
Yeah, that was a wrong move for him. Wrong move, but and then not to Stoke 1-0. Like,
no, it wouldn't have been. I was going to say, was that the Peter Crouch worldie? But no, that was a few years later.
Dillap got sent off, so we took away their only weapon, and we still lost.
And then Jace Beattie scored.
What a player, though!
Yeah, Southampton, Stoke, yeah, good player, Beattie, good player. Then we beat Middlesbrough 1-0. Bellamy scored again. He's doing well right now. Craig Bellamy always, honestly, Bellamy's one of my favorite City players.
Bellamy's was a brilliant footballer. He was, brilliant workhorse, just a brilliant footballer.
Yeah. Obviously, City, right? This season, because it was a good season, it was a shit season, mate. Win, draw, loss, win. It's like, can't just have a consistent run of games where we actually get some wins rather than like win, loss, win.
We were so inconsistent.
Lost to Pompey 2-0. A shit Pompey team lost 2-0. Glenn Johnson scored. Glenn Johnson scored at this point, and Herman Ryderson. That's a throwback.
Oh god, that's a throwback.
Herman Ryderson, yeah, 2-0 loss at Fratton Park. Bloody hell, man. 2-0 loss. Then Anfield drew 1-1. Can't win at Anfield again, as per usual. Bellamy got.
We were lucky to even get a draw at Anfield.
Yeah, because
we've only won there twice in my lifetime.
Anelka 2004 was it? 2003?
Yeah. And then the COVID season.
Well, that fact. Well, this year, please. Let's win at Anfield this year, please. What end the curse?
I've given up ever winning there.
Well, Tottenham won twice, so you never know if things have happened. Now West Ham away, lost 1-0. Another loss. Another 1-0 loss. Always 1-0 in it. Always 1-0 loss or 2-1. Is that Jack Collison who scored? Yeah, Jack Collison. who's now head coach at Huntsville City in MLS League 2.
Jesus.
Yeah. And Villa, who won 2-0. Ilana Castellanos. So yeah, it's what I mean. It's like really on and off results, isn't it? Throughout the season, it's just win, loss, win, loss. It was just never consistent, was it? Throughout the season, always seemed to sort of just every time we got a result, we never got that lost week after. Like Chelsea away, lost 1-0. Essien scored. Was that a good Essien goal? Was that a tap in?
Who?
I don't remember SCN scoring bad goals.
No, because Essien scored the goal against us for a 1-0 win. I'm not sure who.
I might be wrong, but it was probably a banger knowing SCN, wasn't it?
I don't remember that at all.
So we beat Sunderland 1-0. George McCartney got sent off, and it was Micah scored.
Who? Mackin?
Sorry, Micah scored.
Oh, Micah. Right.
Yeah,
I thought you said Mackin. I was like, fucking hell,
Yeah.
was he still up? Was he still with us then?
No,
He must have been about 52 then.
He's still there.
Well, we still had Paul Dickoff that season, so
And then I find this funny, right? This we lost this game, right? Lost to Arsenal 2-0. Adebayor's got 2 goals. Yeah, Adebayor joined us, and then with the celebration the year after. I love that. That kind of
not even a few months later.
Yeah.
they basically just completely did the dirty on him, didn't they? The fans. They proper turned on him.
He was a proper player for Arsenal. They really
was.
messed up letting him come to us.
That goal against Tottenham was on the volley. I remember that. It was an unbelievable goal. Like he was
a great player for us.
Yeah.
He was. And Tottenham as well. And Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Fulham at home was 3-1. But bloody hell, Clint Dempsey, he was a good player for Fulham. Clint Dempsey was a good player. And is that Dixon Atuhu as well?
Yeah. Or Kelvin, maybe.
Yeah, 1 and 2. And then finally, a run-off game we won. We beat West Brom 4-2. And Anuha got a goal in this game. And Chris Brunt.
I was watching the highlights for that game earlier, and Scott Carson went mad because of the Anuha goal.
Scott Carson playing against us. Well, yeah, that's a throwback now, isn't it? Everton away 1-2. We actually won the game with Everton 2-1. Beat Blackburn 3.
That was the Rubinho one.
That's it. Rubinho got with Everton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat Blackburn.
I think that if you look at where the fixtures were and the position in the table and the time of year that was, I think that was the win that confirmed we were safe. I know we finished 10th eventually.
It was close though, wasn't it?
But I think, we only got 50 points that season. So I think that game against Everton, that win was massive. I think it was like the one that almost said, right, we're safe now. The rest of the season doesn't matter.
Because the highest place we were that year was 4th. I was like third game in. Like 4th. Yeah. But imagine if we had got more wins though in certain games. It would have been. It's what I mean. Like it was a what if as well. Like if we were just better in certain games, we might have got a better result of the season.
I doubt it. We had fucking Mark Hughes as manager.
Yeah. So anyway, beat Blackburn 3-1. Lost to Zamlot over the road 2-0. Tevez scored.
No, I remember that. They battered us. They tore us apart that day.
And funny enough, Tottenham away. Lost Tottenham away. So
there's a surprise.
Yeah. That was it. Keen penalty.
Yeah.
Was the end of the game. Yeah. And finally, beat Bolton 1-0. Sorry, Danny. Beat Bolton 1-0 final day of the season.
Why are you saying sorry? I don't fucking care. We won.
Now, league, 10th place, meh. Forgetful season overall. We'll sort of take it. But the UEFA Cup, though, was an interesting one because, a very interesting.
UEFA Cup game against Hamburg was probably the game of the season. It was definitely the best atmosphere I've ever seen at the Etihad.
Yeah, it's until I was having this conversation with Danny earlier today, until the Real Madrid in the treble season, the 4-0 win, that Hamburg game always stood out as one of the best atmospheres I've ever been involved in. It was, and it still is. Like, there's no two ways about it. It will always be there. So for me, it's between that one and the Real Madrid 4-0. But that game, especially against Hamburg, was special.
Yeah, everybody
special.
had their blow up bananas. Everybody was going mental. Tickets were quite cheap, so everybody who wanted to be there was there. It was just such a good game, and we were so unlucky not to get through.
We did. We beat them as well.
So we'll start off. So we played EB Stramer, beat them 4-0. We won't discuss that. We won 4-0.
Was it not a draw against PSG?
Sure, we beat them.
Yeah, so we beat Midtjylland on
0-0 maybe.
We beat Ammonia, obviously, twice.
Yeah.
Beat Twente 3-2. That was it. Beat Schalke 2-0. Was actually quite a good result for us at the time because Schalke were a good team at that point. So we beat them 2-0. Drew PSG 0-0. That was it.
There we go.
And lost to Racing Santander 3-1. Yeah.
So there was a lot of games, and we didn't really have the squad at the time, did we?
No.
But yeah,
that's probably what you can blame the poor results on.
Yeah.
We only got in it because we had a good fair play record.
Yeah. So we beat Copenhagen 2-0. Obviously drew him away, 1 at home. And Bellamy got 2 goals in that game, sort of got us through. Beat Aalborg. Aalborg penalties. Fucking penalties. Honestly,
we were good at them then.
Now, Jesus Christ, no. Well, apart from United, that's fine. That's fine. We'll be hitting penalties, but yeah, Hamburg was 3. What we played for Hamburg? Guerrero. Oh, Guerrero. I've heard of him. Was he a good player? A striker, wasn't he? For
Javier Guerrero. No, what was his name?
Paulo Guerrero. That was it. Paulo Guerrero. Yes, he played for Peru. That was he was a Peruvian player. He was a good player actually. Yeah. Lost 3-1 away, and obviously we won Manchester, but obviously just didn't do enough. And of course, done sent off again.
We were down to 10 men and 1-0 down at home to Hamburg.
And Milano hit the post. Milano hit the bar. We could easily have won that game. It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
I remember,
in the League Cup, we drew at Brighton, and Brighton was shit at that point. They were like a League 2 team at that point. They were a League 1 team, and we drew 2 or lots of penalties.
What a surprise!
And Bull with his penalty. Bull. And then we third round, Forest 3-0 loss.
Yeah, that's when Wayne Bridge was paraded.
So yeah, so overall this season it was pretty well. UEFA Cup run was good to get that far in it.
Yeah.
It was good. League, I mean, mid.
Shite. Say it as it is. Shite.
FA Cup, fucking disgraceful. And the League Cup, terrible. So the Cups were still shitting. Not a Cup team by any means. But League, terrible. But UEFA Cup, at least, I think people remember the UEFA Cup more than actually anything else, aren't they?
That's what I think of when I think of that season. It's that Hamburg game.
But so overall, I'd say for a first season, I mean, I didn't really judge it down. I thought it's first season. We got to see this team in 5 years for them in 1 year. And I think in the end we were proven right. Obviously, one FA Cup, League, and that. So I think for a first season, I thought, look, it is what it is. A lot of change in the club. A lot of things can sort of change around. We've got to get the squad sorted out. I thought I'll take this as a first season, but the year after we've got to get better. Got to get much better than that.
If the takeover happened earlier in the transfer window, we probably would have had a better season. But it was on literally the last day, and we could only make that one signing of Rubinho on the last day.
I just remember that. I remember watching Deadline Day, like at my mum and dad's house. Obviously, I was younger back then, so I didn't have my own house. But downstairs at my mum and dad's house, we're just watching Deadline Day, and it's like if City had been taken over, and that took over everything. So no transfers really got much media. It was all to do with us being taken over. And then you've got all these idiots parading around with tea towels on their head, dancing around, going like Sheikh Mansour and chanting him with, like I say, with tea towels as like the headscarves that they wear in that culture. Like, you'd get done for racism doing that now.
You would, yeah, you would.
Like, you look back at that and you think, wow. Did people
Well,
really do that?
Deadline day, Berbatov was signed by United as well.
Because we were after him, weren't we?
And then we overshadowed them by getting Robinho in the last minute.
And then that was the start of the tables turning in Manchester.
It was, because the year after, now look, obviously we'll do a stream on 9-10 because that's a much better. Well, I'd say better performance overall. Obviously no Europe, so we had to sort of contend with that again. But obviously got to Europe again the year after.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like 9-10 is more of a. To me, it's more about progress.
Yeah.
Progress further, because 10th was for us that problem. We knew that we should have done a lot better that year. A lot better than we should have at least like 6th or 7th that year rather than 10th. But
definitely. But it's the season after the 2009-2010 season. That's when we start moving forward. And just the transfers that we brought in, some of the most important transfers we'll ever make.
Yeah. Absolutely. As I say, and that'll be after during next international break in November. That'll be the next one we discuss, because I mean, obviously we would do more of these, but with City and the news and that constantly, we'll be non-stop. Don't have a chance to talk about it on past seasons. But before we end the stream, obviously in a little bit, I thought I'd bring up obviously here that about Amorim. Now, obviously, I saw today about rumors going around about Pep and that. Now, I didn't mention it a lot to begin with because I thought it's kind of rumors, but I'm hearing a lot more strong arguments about him replacing Pep after obviously he goes. Now, I'll say this now. People got to remember, no matter what happens, who you bring in after Pep, it will be a downgrade.
Yeah.
It will be.
Well, we've got to give him a chance, though.
We've got to. So fan, not us, but the fan base online have to chill out a bit for a couple of years.
Yeah. I was having this conversation with a lad at work today. Like, we are not, like, obviously, like you say, it's going to be a downgrade. There's going to be a drop-off to some extent. However, we said this before, us lot, we are not going to do what United did. We are not going to fall off the face of the earth and just become utter dog crap. The trouble with United, they say, oh, Ferguson was great. Yeah, he was. That proves how good he was. But United are rotten from the top down. Yeah. So they're irrelevant. Whereas City,
we run the club perfectly.
Exactly. The club is run perfectly. Well. So as much as there's going to be a drop-off, there is a contingency in place. And I think a perfect example of how we will look post-Pep is to look at Liverpool now. Because I know it's only early days. But Slot has done very well. He's come in.
It's almost like they haven't changed manager, and he's been there for ages.
Exactly.
He just looks so comfortable at the moment.
He's done very well. He's looked comfortable. So City will be in the same position. We're not going to change too much.
Once Pep leaves, once Sheikh leaves, if he's going to get bored. But everyone thinks once they leave, we're just going to disappear.
No.
We're not. We're one of the most attractive clubs in the world right now. Nobody's going to turn down the job right now.
No.
We're not going to disappear. We're going to stay exactly where we are.
Yeah, we might not win as many trophies, but I don't think any City fan is expecting us to continue the consistency of the trophy turnover.
Look at Madrid.
The football might not even be as good. The football might not even be.
How often they change managers and still win.
Yeah, the football might not even be as good, but we're still going to be there or thereabouts. We're still going to be challenging for every single title, regardless of who the manager is. And I think Pep will resign, I think.
Yeah, he will.
I think he'll do another year. But maybe I am overestimating the drop-off. I hope I am. But I just think that we need to just give, when Pep does go, he'll get the best send-off ever. But I mean, like, we need to give the new guy the opportunity. It's going to take a couple of years. Just give him the time. Yeah. If in the new guy, if it is Ruben Amorim, if Amorim comes in and we finish 6th, say, so what? Give him chance. It wouldn't be.
Remember, we finished 4th under Pep in his first season.
Exactly. Just give him chance.
It was 3rd, and we'll go. So that season.
Was it 3rd?
Yeah, because Tottenham were better than us that year, and Chelsea were better than us, but we just kept getting wins.
No, it was Mancini's first one. We finished 3rd. I'm sure Pep's was 4th because we just did it on the last day, didn't we?
It was Chelsea. Tottenham, City. Remember it? We finished third.
Yes, I
remember
think
that.
you're right.
Yeah, we were third.
Tottenham and the two, yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, because Chelsea were just way better than us that year. But like, it beat us 3-1.
Chelsea were better than everyone.
Yeah, Chelsea just like the thing is that we started well against Chelsea and we just threw it away at the end, and Chelsea just counted us, battered us through. Like Conte did us beat there. He did. Like De Bruyne missed that still.
No, Leicester was Pellegrini won it.
No, Kevin De Bruyne missed that still. I'm like, oh bloody hell! Like that. If De Bruyne now would have buried that, but that was De Bruyne when it wasn't quite level. It was getting there, but it was not well classed.
Yeah.
But De Bruyne now would have buried that chance. Now he'd have this probably smashed it in.
Yeah.
But obviously the team back then were just not the level that obviously required. And yeah, I mean, like, look, as far as I'm aware, I think Haaland signed a new deal. That's almost pretty much almost confirmed now. I think he's signed a new contract about still. On Stones up in the air. I think that one's up in the air for me right now. That's guaranteed it will sign a new deal because if he can get some form together, I think he will get a new deal. But it's like that. A lot of players now are playing for new deals. Really, I think some will get them, but I think most of them are playing for their contracts now. I think some did. It's got players, but obviously we'll see what happens obviously on that front. But all right, KRS, yeah, we'll get to that now. Sunday's game. Now, we should battle them. We should.
Cheers, mate. That's me getting.
I don't care. I don't give a shit. I see enough.
I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1. That close.
3-1. Look, because at the moment, are we playing like flawlessly? No. Defensively, we're a bit hit and miss right now.
It's the first game after the international break as well, so you don't know.
I'm staying out of this one. I've got to be up early in the morning, so I need my bed tonight. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure. Just say a result, man. Come on.
No.
In football, what happens. Humbled a lot. It is what it is.
You don't understand.
I do understand. Mate, come on. Look, last year lost 2-1. Yeah, I went 3-1.
Yeah. Who said 3-0 on the comments then? Because that.
Steve.
Yeah, that 3-0.
Yeah.
We're not getting a clean sheet.
Look,
clean sheet.
I'm sorry saying this. I'm sorry saying this while my other half is quite clearly listening. It should be a foregone conclusion, really.
Should.
It should be, but they're a banana skin, aren't they? Do you know? They are literally like it's one of them, innit? Like they haven't won all season. We're not playing great. It's away from home. We lost there last season. We've only won there once since they got promoted. Twice, maybe.
Twice.
We had the De Bruyne hat trick.
So 3-0 Pep's first. Haaland's first season.
Yeah.
Then the year before with 5-1 De Bruyne, absolute masterclass. Like that was the best one I've ever seen.
And I think that's the only times we've beaten them at their place.
Because we drew with them 18-19.
Yeah.
We drew them 18-19.
To a goal that was deliberate handball from Willy Bolly. Basketballed it into the net.
And the Port scored a great goal. The Port scored. And then Steve.
Mate, you don't get it. It's a family show, by the way.
Imagine a world, though, if you actually won like 9-0 on Sunday. Because you won't come home, Alex. You're coming home.
If we win 9-0, he won't be on the pod next week.
Homeless.
I think the thing is, like I say, it should be a foregone conclusion, realistically. But I just think we've only won there twice since they got promoted under Nuno. And that's in a fair few seasons. They haven't won all season. It just stinks. It just absolutely stinks of an awful City performance, doesn't it? And I'm not just saying that. Like I said, it should be a foregone conclusion. And if you want me to predict a score, 3-0 City. But nah, it's one of them that I hate this fixture for multiple reasons. I'd rather we were going to Anfield on Sunday than going to Molineux.
I hate Southampton away, man. I hate that fucking game because on the win 3-0 or lose 4-0.
Because Wolves are in a dreadful run of form. So
I wish we got 7 goals.
I don't, mate. I actually want.
I can't actually see it us beating anyone 7-1 at the moment.
When was 7 goals a game? It's been a long time since we did that. It's been like years since we scored goals like this.
Nah, it's not that long ago.
Was it what?
Did we score?
No.
Last season in the Champions League?
Leipzig,
yeah.
Yeah, that was
not
it.
Last season,
last
the year
time.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was 7, we win 7-1.
But Sunday, I don't know. It should be easy.
Hype on its own for like 2 hours. Just look at the results. Just
should be 3 points. So we'll see.
Just win the game. Just win. I don't care. Just win the game. Get me out of there. Because Southampton at home is one of the games like we should win that, but no one's Southampton.
Matthias Nunes, 91st minute screamer, runs past the end guy.
Shouldn't even be on the pitch.
I'd start him. We've got nothing to lose.
Oh, you
really.
would.
No, we've got nothing to lose. We've got nowhere else we can go. Unless it does Kovacic again with
Don't do Kovacic again.
Yeah,
don't do that again.
which we've all agreed was crap. So
I'd be tempted to put Stones in there. Just put Stones or Guardiola.
Yeah.
Stones or Guardiola in Rodri's spot.
During this period of games, I want to see a bit of rotation. In terms of not the defense, but the midfield. Not the defense. Try and keep it solid. The attack work with the attack. Right, so let's stay with Patrick. When Bob gets back, we'll start to see the attack coming together. Because for me, I think Bob has a lot to say so on that right wing spot.
It's a shame Bob got injured because he definitely would have played a lot more this season.
Yeah,
because he was definitely one of the better players in pre-season.
Yeah,
because on Sunday I'm playing Jack and Savio on Sunday. I mean, Doku could be in that position as well, but all three have all played. I say similarly. They've all played at a similar level. It's quite close together so far. One sort of. I think, but for me, the defense team needs to be Diaz, Vardiol, Stoke. It needs to be a solid, settled back four now. It's got to be that one.
Well, I've got something funny that we can end on. Go on, sorry.
I'll let you go.
Go on.
No, crack on, mate. This is an end.
I was going to say Lewis, Akanji, Diaz, Guardiola, and then Stones in midfield. That's what I'd do.
That'd be all right.
I'd agree with that.
Right, yeah.
I mean, what?
Not Walker.
Whoever we play, we should get 3 points. But we just need a little bit of solidity and a little bit of consistency running now. And just start doing what we know we can do. We've not played bad all season. We haven't been awful.
It's been like, I'd say it's been good. That's what I'm
been
saying.
Good. It's not been as good as it can be.
No, but it's also one of the better starts we've had to a season, isn't it?
Exactly.
Even though we're not playing brilliantly, it's still one of our better starts, and we haven't even started yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've not had De Bruyne and Rodri for the most part.
There we go. See?
Right,
a little bit of a funny sort of dig at those across the road to end. Sir Alex Ferguson and the Manchester United Football Board have all been asked and banned from entering the Manchester United dressing room. So Sir Alex Ferguson, who is no longer the Manchester United manager and hasn't been for an eye on 10 years, has been sacked before the worst manager in their history. And then people wonder why they are going backwards.
Give
The
him more
answer-
time.
The answer to them
In
going
your
backwards
answer.
is Sir Alex Ferguson. He should never have been allowed to oversee the stuff they've done since he left.
Should
I
have
think he should have
been
had more time. Give them all
But
more
there we go.
time. Keep
Give
it
it-
going.
yeah,
How it's
give-
going.
Give Ten Hag
Yeah.
another 10 years.
You're on the right track.
Any
Keep it going.
any football club would have sacked him last season. By the way, they would have done. He should have been sacked last season. Like anyone with a bit of like up here would have sacked him probably before like, December. But that they've kept him
I
on.
think
It's
that's
like,
why we lost the cup final. Keep him in a job a bit longer.
well, I wish we actually won the game in a way because I wish we actually had something to celebrate because I hated that fucking game. I was like, what is this? Like, what is obviously that Vardy Ortega mix up? I was like, what have I watched just there? What have I actually just like? I was like, am I watching FIFA? Am I watching actual football? But the keeper flying out of goal like absolutely mad now. Oh, mate, that game was a complete nightmare. Oh, but hey, at least I played like what?
It's over now. You can,
It's over
you can
now.
forget about it now.
Thank God, yeah. Yeah, but they're 14th on 8 points. 14th on 8 points. Their worst ever start to Premier League.
Haha.
As last year was their worst start. So it's actually getting worse.
Yeah.
He's beating his own record every season. Keep it going.
And this time, Eric, there's no McTominay to save this time. So Brentford should battle them on Saturday, please. Please battle them.
No, we need United to win so he stays for another week and we can laugh at him again.
No, but if you say that every week, they'll win every week. We don't need that.
You know what? At some point, he'll be sacked. At some point, he'll be sacked. At some point, he will.
Oh yeah, he'll be sacked. He'll be
He
gone
should,
before
he should
Christmas.
have been sacked now, if we're being honest.
Yeah, the fact that he's still in a job, like what? I don't know if you've seen differently.
With a new contract as well.
Sack him, get Southgate in, and we can continue laughing.
And then we to get revenge on the 8-1. We win 8-1 at Old Trafford.
Imagine.
Was that Southgate's Middlesbrough that beat us?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't, was it?
it was. It was Gareth Southgate's Middlesbrough. I checked it. It was.
I remember the game, but I remember the score as well. That's about as far as my memory goes.
It's a nightmare game. We'll forget that game whatsoever. But that's a great stream. That was, a great throwback.
Good laugh.
The first season, and people wonder like, oh, it was a great season. It really wasn't. It was a very average season at best. And
It was an average season with exciting moments. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And we had a lot to look forward to after it.
the UEFA Cup was the best part of that season for me. The best part.
Definitely.
And the league, I mean, it was like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, stop. It was just constant. Like form was out the window, yeah. But at least next time we do this, we've got a good season to discuss. I mean, was it perfect? No, but it was way better than the season beforehand and the performances. So that should be a good one. And then obviously after that, 10-11, and then 11-12. That's one of the ones. That was the one. 11-12 was a great season. It was so much going on. Like, that sporting game.
Well, did something happen that season?
Don't know, mate. Can't remember it.
No, apparently it was a last-minute winner or something like that from someone.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah,
Haven't got a clue.
it's all right. We'll get there at some point.
There was a couple of 6-1s at my local pond that season, but I don't remember much else.
Yeah, against a pub team, the same team that they beat 6-1, actually beat Arsenal 8-2. So yeah, the same to say. Yeah, so funny that, isn't it? Funny that. but everyone up to Steve and all the chat obviously throughout the stream, and also people watching on Twitter and YouTube. Big up to you guys. So a lot of support on these podcasts now. Episode 31, we'll say over 30 streams we've done now on this podcast. It's still going strong. Everyone tuning in, liking the video, subscribe to the channel, Twitter. We all appreciate the support, everyone. And big up to you always being here. And we can't wait to bring episode 32 next week. Obviously, with a Wolves review, Prague preview. Hopefully, we actually beat Wolves because Alex is going to be depressed again. But hopefully, we actually do win this time. And yeah, at least this weekend, football's back. Finally.
See you all next week.
Bring on, guys. See you
Next
next
time.
weekend.